It takes 24 years for the human brain to fully develop. During development, we learn how to be successful adults. We learn how to intake and react to information that's coming at us. Everybody has their own personalities, and all students have their own difficulties. However, a student that has attention deficit hyperactive disorder, ADHD, or attention deficit disorder, ADD, often is set with twice as many difficulties as the average student. I happen to be a student who suffers from ADHD and have my whole life. I have had successful years and not so successful years, and a lot of that has to do with the amount of structure that was implemented in my life. So today, I am going to share my own personal experiences and then a few key organizational tips and areas that will inform you how it benefits ADHD students to be organized and have a daily routine. First off, I'll start with my own personal experience. As a young kid, I was completely disorganized. My mom was 17 when she had me, and she struggled with a consistent home and food and job and consistency in my life. Up until about the third grade, I was really kind of floating like a bag in the wind and had a lot of issues at school and daycare as far as being able to interact with other students and be successful academically. It wasn't about knowing the information, it was about being able to sit and be in class. So in third grade, we moved to an area that happened to have a specific class for students that had behavioral issues such as, autism or ADD, ADHD, and they would help students learn how to be in a classroom environment that was safe and effective. And she helped me and my mother both with understanding how important structure is and helped her to learn to implement it somewhat. She tried her best. But wasn't 100%. But I learned a lot during that time, and I feel like I was able to finish school partly because she gave me the tools to do so. Once I moved out at 15 or 16, I had a counselor that also helped me implement structure and rules and taught me how to hold myself accountable as far as work and school goes, because I moved out on my own at a young age and needed to be able to manage my time and be able to learn and be successful, because I knew that I didn't want to work fast food my whole life. I knew that I wanted to go to college and be successful, and she saw that. So she used to stress to me how important it was that I stuck to a schedule and stuck to my organization at home. I think it's fair to say that implementing a daily routine in my life positively affected my day-to-day life and set me up for success as a college student. But you may be thinking, where would I start or how would it help me? So I'll start by talking about time management. Time management is huge for me because that's one of my biggest areas that I have a flaw in. I actually have 3 different calendars. So I have a school calendar that's like a journal that has all of my assignments, all of my work, anything that has to do with school goes in that book. Then I actually have a calendar that has all of my appointments on it, or my daughter's appointments. My husband does his own stuff. So myself or my daughter's appointments are on there. And then I have my to-do list. So for instance, every day of the week I choose a different room and I clean that room fully. So Mondays is kitchen. So I wipe all of the surfaces down. I do extra things. I'll clean out a cabinet or clean out the fridge as an extra task. And I implement consequences for myself as far as, if I don't get this done, I'm going to have to do 2 tomorrow, or, I'm going to stress out, or, a lot of it has to do with mental at this age. But when you're younger, you can take things away. You can, you don't get to do sports. You don't get to have kids over. You can't play on your tablet. You can't watch TV. There are many, many things that you can add, and you want to be visual. You want to put it on the wall. Because for me, knowing that it's there and looking at it makes it so much easier for me. Classwork. Make sure that classwork is in its own folder, binder, its own color for everything. Everything needs to be in its own specific area. I suggest not even having it in a room upstairs. It needs to be done at the kitchen table or at a desk somewhere, and it doesn't leave, because kids and people with ADHD tend to lose things. If you're not thinking about it, you lose it. So as long as it's in its designated area, you're not going to lose it. Work closely with your kids' teachers. This is huge. If you guys are on the same page as far as discipline and rewards and understanding, then your kid is going to be so much more successful. And that carries on into life. And then finally, home spaces. I already mentioned not to have your homework and things like that in your personal spaces. You're going to want to make sure that you clean up every day. Tidy up your room. Put your socks away. Make sure all your dirty clothes are actually in the basket. Things like that. Put all of your toys where they go. Anything that is out of place, put it back. Because the next day when you wake up, you get to start fresh, and it's easier to maintain your routine. Now let me close by saying it's never too late to begin a routine. Although ADHD can present many issues for students at any age, I believe that after sharing my own personal experience and 3 key areas of organization, that I informed you of the benefits of daily routine for students with ADD or ADHD. A daily routine and organization helps provide security and clarity, as well as keeps them more efficient and gives them efficient ways to cope with the different way that they intake information and process it, thus leading to a more focused and managed, successful student. So whether it's you, yourself, your family member, or a friend coping with ADD, or even just somebody that you just kind of happen to know, start a new daily routine today. And thank you for those who listened.